Hey, many people at the gravesite, even his relatives, didn't think it was Elvis's body at all.
People that went by the body in the coffin were heard to say, that does not look like Elvis Presley. They were saying the nose is pugged. Elvis had a very classical nose. They noticed beads of sweat on the body in the coffin, and, you know, dead bodies don't sweat.
Hey, questions about Elvis's body at the gravesite. His cousin, Gene Smith, his first cousin, didn't think it was Elvis's body at the gravesite. His own cousin didn't think it was his body. Check out the interview that I interviewed with Gene Smith.
When we viewed the body for the last time, I stood there quite a while looking at his hands. And of course, he was always breaking bricks with his hands. He had calluses on the bottom of his hand and big old rough-looking knuckles. His nose looked kind of puggy looking, and his right sideburn was sticking out, straight out looked about an inch. And his hairline looked as if it had been a hairpiece, something glued on somewhere. It just didn't look right. And his hands was just as smooth as a newborn's baby's behind, you know. And it seemed like it was sweating on around his hairline. It could have been sweat, it could have been glue, I don't know. But I just didn't believe it was him.
Hi, Maria Columbus, president of the Elvis's fan club, right here. She was pretty pissed off that Elvis faked his death, so she went and talked to Elvis's dad, and he denied it.
He asked us not to come out, that he wanted us to come to Memphis a week later. He said that it was too hectic, there were too many people, the press was there, all family members that they had ever acknowledged were coming to Memphis, and that it would be more quiet and more beneficial for us to talk to him a week later. So we agreed. We arrived the next week, and the whole feeling of it was a feeling of make-believe. It was unreality. When we went to the mausoleum, it was an atmosphere of a carnival. There were people selling popcorn and soft drinks. There were people running up and down, and people standing in front of the doors of the mausoleum posing for pictures with the security guards. It didn't feel real. It felt like it was a game. And we didn't feel that Elvis's spirit was there. We felt a coldness and like it was a big joke. That was the week that we saw a copy of the inventory of Elvis's estate. It was 84 pages long, but it was 84 pages too short. There were a lot of things that were missing that should have been there. This was an inventory of everything that was in Graceland at the time. And there were no photographs of his mother listed, no photographs of his daughter. His diaries were missing. So most of his jewelry was gone. He had maybe 5 pieces of jewelry listed, and everybody knows Elvis loved jewelry, and he had a tremendous amount of rings and watches and necklaces, pendants. None of those were there. Some of his cars were missing. A plane was missing. It was unbelievable. And we were talking to fans who were still there, who had seen Elvis lying in state, and they said it didn't look like him.
Hey, Maria Columbus was really skeptical about Elvis's gravesite. Listen to what she has to say about it.
Spelled Elvis's name on the gravestone with 2 A's, even though he officially changed the spelling of his name on his birth certificate from 2 A's to 1 A. Also, Elvis went by 1 A. He signed his contract with 1 A. His marriage license had 1 A. His Army papers had 1 A. Another thing that's unusual is the position of the burial plots. Elvis is not placed next to his mother. He is between his grandmother and Vernon. That is not what Elvis wanted in the first place, and the fans have been commenting about this quite a lot.
But was there proof? But was there proof that Elvis was still alive? Hey, we're going to talk to Mike Josephs, who took pictures at Graceland, and you're going to see some fascinating stuff. So hey, check this out.
Took my wife and my son and my nephew down to Graceland. They had just opened up Memory Gardens where Elvis was laid to rest. And we were there for an hour, and we left back for home. Had the pictures developed, and looked at them, put them away. One day after reading a book, I decided to look at my pictures again. I pulled them out, and this time I saw something in one of the pictures that I hadn't seen over the years that I was looking at them. Of course, I wasn't really studying them, but the sun had just hit on this picture in such a way that it picked up this image sitting in the doorway, a shadow in the doorway. For curiosity's sake, not that I'd know who was there, I wanted to see what it was. I took my son's magnifying glass, put it on the picture, started pulling it away from the picture to get a good visible view of it, and I was just shocked. I could not believe what I saw. My God, I had Elvis Presley sitting in the doorway, looking out at the fans walking past his grave. I've had the negatives examined by Kodak. And Kodak basically says that they are original. They have not been tampered with in any way. They were taken in sequence, uncut by the negatives, being original. They can tell. The emulsion number of the film was manufactured in '77. Each roll of film that is manufactured has a manufacturing date on it in the emulsion number. You couldn't pay Kodak to say something like that if it weren't true. This is the first shot that we took. We couldn't go near the house. This is a security guard's car. It was sort of makeshift then because it was too early. It wasn't really opened up as a museum yet, so the house was closed to the public. This is Elvis's headstone, and right here in the corner is his mother. So this show that was taken after August 1677 and before '79 when his father died, because his father would be right over here, and '80, his grandmother, Minnie May. This is the shot that I took of the people walking and the bathhouse in the distance. We zero in here, and this is the same shot with just the chair. No one sitting in the chair. So that shows it was not a picture of someone sitting in a chair. He liked that chair. That was one of his favorite chairs. He even got his haircuts in that chair at times. This is the view he would be seeing. He would be seeing us sitting there and the people walking past his headstone. This is my son once again blocking the doorway, and of course the picture where I first spotted the silhouette in the doorway.
Hey man, we actually have a picture of Elvis here. Check this out. Is it Elvis? What do you think? I mean, check it out. It's right there, live. I mean, this is basically, I mean, Kodak officiated it. They don't do that to anybody. This is actually Elvis. Check it out. Hey, Elvis. I mean, he sat there in his own place and watched tourists go by Graceland. And this guy's unbelievable. But anyways, that Monty Nichols guy, who was some kind of an investigator, used to be a cop or something, he also saw a picture of Elvis. But no, he does not have the picture. It's just hearsay. He doesn't have proof of the picture. Supposedly it got lost somewhere. Listen to his story while I interview him.